This week in gaming, Embracer Group has more issues. PlayStation sees the writing on the wall and so much more. I am your host, Zach Dykes, and I'm joined by in a mystical land, in a dark mountain cave, as a dragon guards his treasure. He doesn't hoard gold like other dragons, but mountains chocolate.
Heck yeah.
Villagers trade cocoa beans and chocolate for safe passage through the mountain. And the dragon will even use his fire to make hot cocoa. He is Coco Aurelius, the chocolatier.
Heck yeah. I like that because I am a chocolate fiend. Now, let's see where this ranks because
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about say that's a top tenner. But now where in the top 10? I'm gonna go ahead and make a judgment call. Just shoot from the hip here. We're gonna make it number 9, right below
Oh
Hiroshi
wow!
McSlice and Dice Takashi.
Oh wow! I was not expecting you to go that high on the chocolatier.
I wasn't either, but again, as you say, I'm kind of a little conceited here. So as long as it sits well with me, it's gonna be top tier.
As long as your senses are tickled, you feel good.
Right.
Audio is super glitchy. So guys, thank y'all for being patient with us. We're running out of a hotel on my end for work. So we're doing it live and hopefully it will be great
Yeah.
uh on our end and everything. But hope you all are doing well tonight. Amy gets another top 10.
Yeah.
She's pretty much competing with her own self. Murdoch, I haven't seen a new Murdoch one in a while. I
Yeah. I
checked
know.
I checked the form earlier. No Murdoch. Murdoch's running the show tonight. Y'all give him some love
Mm-hmm.
as he has
He doing the Lord's
graciously
work.
helped us. Yeah. I don't know if that worked. Oh, sounds. I'm running off of a different board tonight. I don't know if the air horn came, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Everybody's texting me. Everybody in the world is
Of
texting me
course they
tonight.
are.
Work and all that good stuff. Guys, I don't have a phone or computer charger, so we've got a very limited time to get through this show before my computer dies.
We gonna
So
do a speed run tonight.
we're gonna do a speed run. Derek, I don't know if you saw my text earlier about the Bungie story.
Yes,
I
I did.
wrote
I
a
already went
shorter
ahead and
one.
fixed it.
Okay, awesome. That makes it a lot easy. Guys, we're going to get into the gaming discussion this week. First up, Embracer updates. The CEO of Embracer Group announces departure following a quote unquote rough year for the company.
So Eagle Strunk or Strunky, the CEO of Embracer Group, has announced that he has left the industry amidst waves of layoffs at the company. Speaking in a statement issued earlier today, Strunk or Strunky, however it's pronounced, confirmed that he has departed Embracer Group last week with quote mixed feelings. Quote, last week I left Embracer Group as COO, and it's with mixed feelings that I am parting ways with this global company phenomenon rooted in Karlstad, Sweden. On one hand, I'm grateful for having had the chance of to work with one of a kind CEO Lars Wingerfers and all the other amazing colleagues, too many to mention, which I will be sad to leave. On the other hand, I'm excited about the opportunities that lie ahead, starting and building my own company, Strunky Games. Although the last year has been rough, in line with general market changes and industry consolidation, I am positive that Embracer will come out stronger and with a long, bright future ahead of them.
Mm.
You know,
I do not want to work for a place called Strunky Game.
right, exactly. Like it just doesn't. No matter if it's pronounced strunk or strunky, it's just not doesn't roll off the tongue as well. But I'm glad because we'll get into a story later about a little later that some higher ups are not falling on the sword for their mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's glad to see that he's taking a leave of absence because he sees they see the writing on the wall and they figured rather than us laying off any more employees, I'm going to take one for the team. However, this next story I'll let you. I'll say this next story. The next story we'll get into right after you give your thoughts, Zach. Kind of bitters the pot a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is, the shareholders like, okay, we got to sacrifice somebody and, CEO or C, was it CEO or COO?
The sacrificial lamb.
CEO, yeah,
So
he was the sacrificial lamb. But Embracer Group doesn't get away scot free this week.
Nope.
Time Splitter dev could be shuttered by.
So, the UK based developer Free Radical, the studio responsible for the much loved Time Splitters franchise, is facing a possible closure despite only being snapped up by Embracer Group 2 years ago to revive the series. The news comes in wake of Embracer's ongoing restructuring program that has seen a number of studios suffer layoffs, while the likes of Volition and Campfire Cabal have been shuttered altogether. Now, sources have told VGC that Free Radical has been part of the evaluation process, and its staff has been told that the company may shut its doors. While a closure has yet to be confirmed, over 15 staff members at Free Radical have posted on LinkedIn and social media that they are actively looking for work in the past 24 hours. The positions include lead game designer, senior artist, senior technical artist, game designer, and IT manager. Deep Silver announced back in May of 2021 that the newly formed Free Radical was working on a brand new Time Splitters title, featuring the number of key members from the original team, including Steve Ellis and David Doak. So, tit for tat, as they say. The CEO leaves, but at the same time, they're going to lose another studio, which is going to be like they said, over 15 staff members. Like, yes, Embracer Group is trying to bring these like AA titles back at the same time.
Yeah.
One for 15, for 15 plus members from another studio doesn't seem like a fair exchange, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's kind of par for the course for Embracer
Mm-hmm.
Group at this point. They are shuttering studios left and right to try
Mm-hmm.
to make up for the loss of $2 billion investment from, assuming a Savvy Game
Yeah.
and everything. So at this point, they're just trying to cut corners, cut cost, sacrifice everybody, all the grandmas, everybody is not safe at Embracer Group, and I hate it for them, and it's something we see across the whole industry. But Embracer got too big for its britches, and how they paying the price.
Yup.
Some people are paying the price.
Yeah,
Others are not.
some. One board member for every 100 employees they lose. You know what I mean? Like that's fair trade.
Yeah, 100%. So I hate it, but it is. That Embracer Group is going to continue to implode. We'll continue to talk about it as the weeks go on for
Yeah.
sure. Another story, which I think is pretty interesting, is
Mm-hmm.
our next one. The Epic Game Store still isn't profitable nearly 5 years after launch, which is absolutely insane. I think a lot of this is Steam, but let's jump into the story.
Oh, for sure. So Epic's extensive war with Valve over PC gamers' cash still hasn't paid off, the company has admitted. The Epic Game Store launched nearly 5 years ago with eye-catching PC exclusives that cost the company behind Fortnite an arm and a leg to secure. Since then, Epic has thrown bucket loads of cash at securing PC exclusive like Alan Wake 2 being the latest, and weekly free game giveaways in a bid to carve out a piece of the PC gaming pie. It's even launched aggressive revenue terms for publishers and developers to try and attract more games to its platforms. A la, they'll say, hey, you can get, if you put a game exclusively on us, we'll give you 100% of the profits and we take no cut. Despite all this, Epic Games Store is yet to turn a profit for Epic and remains a loss leader as it approaches its fifth birthday in December. Confirmation comes from Epic itself during the ongoing Epic versus Google court case, as reported by The Verge. Epic Games Store boss Steve Allison said that on the witness stand that while the store isn't profitable yet, Epic's quote goal is still growth. According to The Verge, emails revealed during the Epic versus Apple trial suggested the company was hoping to claim half of all PC gaming revenue. It's surely a disappointing situation for Epic, which recently suffered a devastating round of layoffs that saw hundreds of staff let go across Epic itself and its subsidiaries, including Fall Guys developers Mediatonic. The Epic Game Store continued to offer developers 88-12 split revenue compared to Valve taking a 30% cut of Steam sales. Epic also launched the first Run program, which trades 100% of revenue for 6 months of PC exclusivity. Back in March, the company launched a suite of new self publishing tools designed to help creators and publishers release their games onto the digital store in a more seamless fashion. Steam, meanwhile, continues to dominate the PC gaming market. In January, Valve's service smashed its record for concurrent online users with just shy of 32 million players online. So it's surprising to see that 5 years in, they still haven't turned a profit. Now I know, Xbox is one thing where, uh, you know, certain things like their cloud service is eating money as well, but at least they make profits elsewhere. Here, it's almost like Epic is trying to, like, yes, they have the Fortnite revenue, but I almost feel like that's a crux, where and that's the only thing holding them up, as opposed to everything else eating their money. And I feel like this is going to be their quote unquote fallback to why they had to do all this layoffs. Is like, oh, we're losing so much money on this that we had to let employees go. It's like, no, that's a bunch of malarkey, in my opinion. You just want to let go some people so you can fatten your pockets up top. Like that, I don't know. Like, it is surprising, and I feel like I don't know. I don't know if changing like the 100% revenue for 6 months of PC exclusivity, like getting rid of that is the answer, or like increasing your revenue split just by a little bit would be the answer. I don't have the answer for this, but I feel like it is surprising. But I also feel like this is going to be like their fallback excuse for why they have to let people go. I can't hear you, Zach.
Sorry, I
Okay.
muted myself. Um, I think they're trying to compete with Steam, and which is a lofty goal in and of itself.
Oh yeah.
But when they are buying these companies and letting people go, it is showing that, hey, they're not really here for the long haul. They're trying to see, can they get their foot in the market? Can they be the second place kind of people? And they, gradually, a war of attrition, get enough people into the Epic Game Store and everything. And for them not to turn a profit is pretty big. They are making money. Yes, they're being able to support them, but want your service to be something where people want to go and play. Anytime we bring up Epic, it's like PC players are like, well, I use Steam, you know,
Yeah.
like I'd rather use Steam.
Correct.
And, Murdoch's running the show tonight. I feel like he would say the same thing. He would rather use Steam over. Yes, Epic gives away free stuff all the time. And,
Hmm.
have creator code with great. They're doing a lot of things to try to get people to shift over there,
Yeah.
but
They're-
don't think that they're big enough splash people to fully switch over and everything. I think that's
Correct.
the biggest problem with
Correct.
it all. And, you get down to it, you can only bleed money so long. You can only do that for a certain amount of time. And then you have to start making decisions like there are right now. They're letting people go, closing things down.
Hmm.
Um, Eventually, you've got to say, hey, this is not working. And you gotta be like Google. Just gotta know when to fold them.
Yeah. So,
So
and
it,
and I yes, while the consumer friendly ideas are great, at the same time, if you're cutting off your nose to spite your face, is it really worth it?
yeah, yeah, 100%. And like, I hate to see it. I hate for people to lose their jobs, to
Hmm.
lose the things that they're building and everything. But at the end of the day, they're so
Right. Correct.
you know. But something that you don't have to cut off your nose to spite your face. Coffee brand coffee, guys. This is amazing coffee. No gimmicks, no politics. Nearly 4,000 reviews on Coffee Brand Coffee, and most of them are 5 out of 5. They got 12 coffee blends, 12 coffee blends, and 12 organic teas, 3 hot cocoa flavors. Did I say 12 coffee blends? They got
Yeah.
12 coffee blends. Derek, did you know that they have 12 coffee blends?
No, I thought they only had 12 coffee blends.
They have 12 coffee blends, guys. Freshness is guaranteed because they roast it to order. It's not being roasted, you know, 3 months
Sitting on a
ago.
shelf.
No, none of that junk here. Highest quality, freshness guaranteed. Guys, go check it out. Amy got the medium roast. She really enjoyed that. She got some oolong. I can't remember what she got. She got chai tea. Really enjoyed that. So Go check it out. Elevate your coffee game or your tea game or your cocoa game today and use code NerdCave at checkout. With a link in the description below, you can get 5% off your order
Whoop,
today.
whoop.
So it's time to jump into some PlayStation news. We got some Bungie updates, those scallywags, bunch of scallywags. Bungie finally releases statements on layoffs, says it knows we have lost a lot of your trust.
A little bit of an understatement. Bungie has finally addressed the recent layoffs in a statement acknowledging the loss and trust and expressing the studio's commitment to regaining it. According to the statement titled "Our Path Forward," Bungie recognizes we need to make their upcoming Destiny 2 expansion the final shape and unforgettable experience. They admit, "We have lost a lot of your trust. Destiny needs to surprise and delight. We haven't done this enough, and that's going to change." The studio aims to create a game with that will be regarded alongside their best titles, referencing Forsaken, The Witch Queen, and The Taken King as the standard bearers they strive to live up to. Bungie emphasizes their intense focus on player expectations for the final shape, with over 650 dedicated team members working on delivering the epic moment and its subsequent episodes. Regarding future updates, Bungie promises more news in the coming weeks about short-term plans, including the upcoming season, as well as updates on the final shape. Notably, the statement avoids explicitly using the word layoffs, referring instead to people who are with the company but are no longer there, implying an amicable departure. However, the lack of transparency in the statement and Bungie's failure to address the support provided to those affected by the layoffs raised concerns. The layoffs not only resulted in employees missing out on unvested shares due to the timing, but also only extended health benefits for one extra day beyond their term with the studio. This vagueness makes the layoffs feel even more concerning and aligns Bungie with other in the industry that have been criticized for similar practices. Furthermore, it has been reported that Bungie did not consider cutting executive compensation as a measure to avoid layoffs. With some executives forfeited annual bonuses, it is unclear how substantial those bonuses were and whether they equate to an actual pay cut. This information comes in contrast to the initial funds provided by Sony to incentivize employee retention after acquiring Bungie, which appear to have been used for share buyouts instead. In another development, Sony has announced a review of its live service game plans, committing to launching only 6 out of the 12 games in the works by March of next year, or no, not 2026, excuse me. Sony's focus is on ensuring quality and delivering games that will be enjoyed by players for a long time. The live service push has faced allegations, including delays in the highly anticipated multiplayer game based on the Last of Us franchise. Various studios, including Bungie, Haven Studios, and Fireworks Studios, are working on different live service projects for PlayStation. Sony acknowledges the competitive landscape and the significant time investment required by live service games. Despite the setbacks, Sony remains confident in its ability to create games that resonate with PlayStation fans. Overall, the statements from Bungie and Sony shed light on the challenges faced by both companies in the gaming industry, particularly regarding layoffs and the development of live service games. The lack of transparency and concerns about employment support raise questions about the studio's relationship with players in the industry at large. So, a lot to digest here because we
Mhm.
kind of can because I kind of split all those up into three different stories, and we just kind of condensed them into one instead of having just three long drawn out stories because it all kind of coincides with one another because
Yeah.
Bungie is the one who was picked to spearhead the live service renaissance, quote unquote. I'll use that term
Mhm.
very loosely for PlayStation, and they can't even keep their own house in check, and let alone now that they're the higher ups are not taking pay cuts to compensate for the layoffs. They're like we saw at least Embracer, the CEO at least step down.
Yeah.
We probably could have seen the others take a pay cut as well, but regardless, Bungie's not even doing that, and they're a much bigger company than Embracer Group. And then this is folding into the rumors we talked about last week about how PlayStation's or that we've talked about for the previous like month. I feel like how PlayStation is kind of, now that Jim Ryan is stepping back, rethinking their live service plan because we keep talking about that showcase they had earlier in the year did not wow anybody. Like Marathon was the only one that was like, yeah, okay, because it's Bungie, and at that
Yeah.
point they had a proven track record of doing things right. But even Marathon didn't wow anybody,
Mhm.
and it's like, again, I don't want to say seem like PlayStation needs to hit the panic button because I feel like they can right the ship as long if this all proves to be true, and they're kind of dialing back down their live service, charge, they can salvage it from the get go because we've seen too many companies where they wait till it's too late to pull the ripcord and it ends up being worse than what it is. If Sony pulls the ripcord now, I feel like they could salvage it and turn the ship before it sinks, before it runs into that iceberg. But what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I think Bungie, we've reported on it. We talked about them cutting people before they could get their stock shares and everything. That was part of like the agreement. They had like a certain time they had to be employed there and everything. They got fired before or got let go, sorry,
Right.
let go before that could take effect. So that was a huge thing. And now we're seeing, I talked about it I think a week or two ago, people play testing Marathon and people were not impressed. They didn't get more. They even asked like some people that play Escape from Tarkov because apparently it's going to be much like that. People that stream it and everything
Right.
for content, and they're like, if it came out today, would you play it? And they were like, no, I wouldn't.
Mhm.
And that's saying a lot because yes, Destiny has done really well. It's very very good as a franchise and everything.
Mhm.
But when you get down to it, Destiny has done well because it had story. It just wasn't a live
Correct.
service. It had a lot of different things that were involved with it. And now we're seeing Sony seeing, oh my God, this is a ticking time bomb that we've
Yup.
we're holding in our lap. And I would rather Sony have a few years of it being kind of thin on games, kind of like Xbox has been. I'd rather it be a
Mhm.
little thin on games than them put out crap,
Yeah. I
you
mean, look
know?
at this year, right? Like we really like we've had some like smaller stuff and third party stuff here and there, like with Final Fantasy 16 and there was another one for anyway, the big first party AAA title or the only AAA first party title has been Spider-Man 2, and as we'll get to it, like kind of like spoil a little bit of the lead here, it's done gangbusters. So it's like they're hurting. If you do the game right, it'll do fantastic.
Yep.
But like again, quality over quantity. We keep preaching it. So like obviously it's not going to hurt PlayStation sales this year by only having one huge AAA first party title.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest issue is Sony put so much into it where it was 60% of the development budget was going
Correct.
towards live service, and now this is not the way. Go ahead and pull the plug. Don't just delay things. Be like, hey, we thought this was the future. It's
Mhm.
not. Clearly, it's not. And we want to make the games that people want. That's why
Mhm.
we're changing. That's why we're to this effort. And I think people would respect that way more than them trying to force things. It's like you think it might be a fart, but if you try to force it, you
It's
poop your
going to be something
britches.
else.
Yeah. And I think that's where PlayStation is at right now. If they force it's going to turn into something more than just a little fart.
Yeah.
They're going to have
And
some poo poo in the pants.
this perspective too, it's like you said, they kind of like this is not turning out to be what it is, but how Marvel Games is, right? There's been Avengers and stuff like that. It hasn't done really well, but then there's been Guardians of the Galaxy, and Spider-Man with Insomniac, like that have done well. I feel like that with the when it comes to live service, I feel like PlayStation should take that approach where not so much like let other people do it, but like Bungie has done like really well with the live service. Like make studios that have a hand in multiplayer and live service that has been their bread and butter since their inception.
Yeah.
Worry about those. Like don't force every studio. Like as it doesn't make because as we see with Naughty Dog, they are struggling with their multiplayer game. Which again, spoiling a quickie here, the Last of Us multiplayer is still in the books to go, and it's like I don't know that you should still go with that. Like it's other than just
Yeah.
name brand alone. Like, can you imagine Sucker Punch all of a sudden pivoting? Like I know Ghost of Tsushima Legends did pretty okay, like, when it first launched, but now no one you don't hear anyone talk about playing that multiplayer anymore, but can you
Yeah.
imagine them doing, like, a live service only type of game? No. That's a disservice to, Sucker Punch and, like, any other studio that does great storytelling. It's like, don't force them to pivot if they're not accustomed to it.
Yeah, 100%. You don't hire a basketball player to go play
Ho
baseball.
or
Michael
hockey.
Jordan. Think
Oh,
about
yeah.
Michael Jordan. Like his career was awful as a baseball player. He was a spectacle. And that was really about it. It's like he wanted to go play, but he wasn't that good. And then he came back and guess what? What a win. He was
Yeah,
able to be great again. And
right,
that's what we're getting here is we're getting all these developers developing things that one they're not passionate about,
right.
and two they don't want to make. Literally, they said they felt uncomfortable.
Yeah,
That says a lot.
you're right.
That says a lot. But Derek, let's jump into PlayStation quick.
So first up, PlayStation India Hero Project will unveil its first batch of PS5 games in the first half of 2024. Sony to acquire AI powered video delivery company iSize. Microsoft's Phil Spencer says, quote, "We need to think of PlayStation users as part of the Xbox community." Interesting take. PS5 and PS4 will no longer support Twitter integration as of next week. PS Plus premium game trials adds Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, Sifu, and more. Genshin Impact Update 4.2 is out now and features 2 new regions and climax of Fontaine's main storyline. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth writer calls for fans to stop messaging with demands to kill off certain characters. Rumor, a Bloodborne movie is in the pipeline. HBO's The Last of Us Season 2 looks to kick off production in early 2024 with the premiere set for 2025. The Last of Us multiplayer director reveals he is still working on the game. Marvel Spider-Man 2 devs say Miles Morales is a quote main Spider-Man from now on. Not going to get into anything from that. All I can say is cool. And lastly, Spider-Man 2 has sold 5 million copies in just 11 days. Insane.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Starfield sold 10 within 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
we are a little shy of that within 11 days. So we still got a little bit to go before we can see if they match and everything. Plus, Starfield was on Game Pass, but that's awesome. Spider Man
Yeah.
2 is great. Started playing it on the channel Tuesday. Fantastic game. I'm glad you finally finished it.
Whoop, whoop.
Um, but yeah, I really, really have enjoyed Spider Man. And with all of this is going on, like AI, I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like tonight is the night to discuss it, but
No,
um,
your computer won't make it.
my computer won't make it. But I do want us to discuss AI later. But Sony acquiring an AI company is very, very interesting. But Derek,
Mm-hmm.
we got one last stretch.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a short, quick one because guess what? That battery is just draining.
I know.
So our quick hits are called the Patreon quick hits. These are the rapid fire news articles from the week that didn't make it into the show proper, but they are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Become part of the ship, part of the exclusive group by going over to patreon.com/nerdcave and picking the tier that fits you. And if you can't afford a tier right now, that's awesome. That's okay. We understand. You can join for free over there and see the stuff that's going on over on our Patreon right now. So go help us, go support us. But now, without further ado, the paper hits.
First up, Tekken 8 reveals new character Victor Chevalier. The Expanse, a Telltale series bonus episode Archangel is now available. IO Interactive CEO says Project 007 is, quote, the ultimate spycraft fantasy. Following that, IO Interactive is hoping to make multiple James Bond games. Following that, James Bond rights holder Eon Productions, quote, "We're not looking for a game before IO Interactive pitched them." Immortals of Avium, the Echo Lector update dropping on November 16th with new gear, lore, and new game plus. Ubisoft confirms Far Cry 6 will no longer receive any new updates. Assassin's Creed Valhalla: The Hidden Codex is a Viking-centric graphic novel that will be out next April. Following that, Assassin's Creed Codename Red is to reportedly include the first real-life assassin to have existed. Ubisoft more layoffs, guys. Ubisoft lays off 124 employees between its global IT team and Montreal-based VFX team Hybrid. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 file size is massive due to quote increased amount of content. Modern Warfare 3 campaign can reportedly be finished in 3 to 4 hours. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name took about half a year to develop, and it was originally planned as DLC. Neverwinter dev hit with layoffs as Embracer continues to restructure. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Indigo Disc DLC, is out on December 14th. Alan Wake 2 alternate endings secretly data mined points to possible inclusion in New Game Plus mode. Diablo 4's next expansion, Vessel of Hatred, has been announced. World of Warcraft Studio talks about bringing the games to consoles, quote, all the time. The finals open beta attracted 7.5 million players. Fortnite had its biggest day ever with 44 million players thanks to throwback OG season. Mountain Dew brings back Game Fuel with exclusive Halo Infinite rewards. Ark Survival Ascended will release on Series X and S on November 14th, but has been delayed on PS5. Vampire Survivors to get self-contained miniature story mode adventures. Blizzard reveals next 3 Overwatch 2 heroes, including next month's new tank Malga. Overwatch League officially ending as Blizzard focuses on quote new direction. Lightning McQueen is out now in Rocket League. Microsoft's bringing AI enhanced game developer tools to Xbox. Turn 10's Alan Hartman promoted to head of Xbox Game Studios. BioWare reveals a teaser for its upcoming Mass Effect game to celebrate N7 Day. Night in the Woods follow-up Revenant Hill has been canceled due to developer illness. Super Mario Bros. Wonder becomes the fastest-selling Mario game, and Nintendo expects it to keep on selling. Following that, Nintendo hints it will continue extensive Switch support even after new-gen hardware has been released. GTA 6 will reportedly be officially announced this week, followed by a trailer next month. And following that, though, earlier this morning, Rockstar has confirmed that the GTA 6 trailer will drop in early December. GTA is Take-Two's best-selling franchise, reaching over 410 million copies sold, with 190 million coming from GTA 5 alone. So practically half of its copies has just been from GTA. Insane. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick says generative AI can make NPCs, quote, really interesting and fun. Zelnick also says GTA 6 announcement has put Take-Two in, quote, growth mode. Lords of the Fallen getting more free content, and a roadmap has also been revealed. Resident Evil 4 Remake iPhone 15 Pro release date has been confirmed for December 20th. Nintendo announces live-action Zelda movie. Elon Musk confirms he will, quote, look into PlayStation and Xbox integration being removed. Mortal Kombat 1 has sold nearly 3 million copies since launch. Insane. Mortal Kombat, that is on 3 different consoles, has sold less than Spider-Man 2 has on one console in not even a quarter of the amount of time. Insane. WB will focus on expanding its biggest franchises into live services moving forward. Oy vey, they just don't learn.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like you can see everybody else is like struggling, like
I
struggle
know.
bus on
Come on
this, and
now.
WB's like, guess what, guys? Live service. It's like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
we were really successful with Hogwarts Legacy, and it's like, yeah, I think
correct.
we should go live services. And yeah, lot of stuff in there. The AI stuff coming back up. It's like people wanting the quick fix, or oh, we can hire less people and all this kind of stuff. It's like,
Well, like the developer tools one for Xbox isn't that bad. Like if it helps enhance, then that's fine. But yeah, like taking away jobs not cool.
yeah, I was talking more about Take Two. It's like, oh, it
Oh
makes
yeah.
more. It's like, you mean crazy? Like they act sporadic, because that's how AI declares.
I mean, did they
It's
not
just,
hear the AI commentary from the finals a
yeah,
week ago? Like, come on, guys.
it's weird. But we will see in the future. I'm excited for a new Mass Effect. In 7 Day was this past week,
Mm-hmm.
and today is the Halo 2 anniversary of its launch,
Oh, yeah.
November 9th.
Huh.
Good time. Good time.
And
Got
perfect
me that.
timing because the G Fuel's coming back.
Yeah. I got that Halo 2 steel book, like this nice silver with the blue Halo 2 logo on there.
Mmm.
So good.
Schmexy.
Those were the good. Those were the good days. Well, guys, there you go. That is the episode. My computer is at its last 10%. So
Oh, yeah.
we're going to call it right here, right now. This has been Zach.
And Coco Aurelius, the chocolatier.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye.